Today, we're going to explore the complex part of the body that is the endocrine system. A system that helps the body grow, releases hormones, regulates metabolism, and makes sure that the body maintains homeostasis, a state of the body that we will discuss later. So let's begin our deep dive into this vital feature of life. Homeostasis, simply put, is the process of maintaining a sort of balance in the body, making sure that the temperature isn't too high or too low, making sure that the body's blood sugar levels are even, among many other forms of stability. Think of it like when you're playing Clash, and you need to make sure that your overall elixir count is below 4 but above 1. This is a sort of homeostasis. If your overall elixir count exceeds a certain point, then the balance of the deck gets thrown off, and you'll lose your games. So make sure that you balance out your expensive cards like Mega Knight and P.E.K.K.A. with cheap cards like Ice Spirit and Bats to maintain the homeostasis of the overall elixir count.
The endocrine system is made of many different glands and organs that all work together to transport different hormones around the body. It's kind of like playing a team sport. When one person doesn't do something right, the entire team falls apart. It's the same with the endocrine system, because if even a single gland is not functioning correctly, then the entire system's balance gets thrown off. Some of these glands include the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, pineal gland, pancreas, and the hypothalamus, along with other tissues. The hypothalamus, which is located at the base of the brain below the thalamus, works together with the pituitary gland. Although the pituitary gland is considered to be the master gland because it secretes hormones from other glands, it is actually regulated by the hypothalamus. Together, they regulate many of the body's vital functions like growth, metabolism, reproduction, and more. The hypothalamus directly correlates to body functions like body temperature, thirst, and hunger, while the pituitary gland controls other glands and organs. The thyroid gland regulates metabolism, the parathyroid regulates blood calcium levels, the pancreas controls sugar levels, reproductive organs regulate hormones like estrogen and testosterone, and finally, the pineal gland controls sleep by releasing melatonin.
The endocrine system, like all the others, can develop many sorts of issues. These can either be the overproduction or underproduction of hormones caused by many factors, whether they be genetic, a tumor, or one of the many other reasons. The condition that you've probably heard the most of, or might even experience yourself, is diabetes, when the pancreas doesn't generate enough insulin to keep blood sugar levels in check. Insulin being a hormone to combat high blood glucose released by the pancreas. Type 1 diabetes is where there isn't enough insulin, and type 2 is when at first there's too much and then too little of it. Think of insulin as your elixir bar. If you don't have enough elixir to combat the incoming Mega Knight with the P.E.K.K.A., then you need your elixir pump or insulin pen to generate more elixir or insulin. Type 1 diabetes is often genetic, and type 2 is mostly related to eating habits. Another part that can experience issues is the thyroid gland. An overactive thyroid is called hyperthyroidism, and an underactive thyroid is called hypothyroidism. Thyroid nodules are common, but cancers are rare. Hyperthyroidism can lead to a faster heart rate and an increased metabolic rate. Hyperthyroidism causes slowing of growth and mental development in kids and metabolic changes in adults. Think of the thyroid as a relationship between two people. If one person gives too much attention to the other, they become needy, and the other person is overwhelmed by them. But if one person gives too little attention to the other, then the other person falls out of the relationship because they aren't getting the attention that they need. A scary sounding disorder is Graves' disease, but this actually just causes hyperthyroidism. The last issue we'll be discussing is pituitary tumors. Although most of these are benign and non-cancerous, macroadenomas, the big ones, are tumors that can put pressure on the surrounding nerves, causing vision problems, trouble with eye movements, or headaches. Depending on the tumor, the hormone production may be affected, leading to either a deficiency or excessive hormone production, leading to gigantism or the loss of body hair, among many other symptoms, depending on the tumor.
The endocrine system also works together with other body systems like the respiratory system. Our body uses hormones as chemical messengers, and some of these act like neurotransmitters, which is a chemical that transmits signals from a neuron to a target cell in the nervous system. These chemicals are what actually regulates your breathing and signals the brain to increase breathing when your body needs more oxygen. Our bodies also contain peripheral chemoreceptors, located in carotid bodies, located in the neck, and aortic bodies, located in the heart. These act like sensors which constantly detect changes in blood pressure, low oxygen levels, and rising carbon dioxide levels. If something is off, these hormones tell the brain to adjust breathing. The relationship between the endocrine system and nervous system works both ways. Hormones like progesterone and thyroxine can help stimulate breathing, while the lungs themselves release hormones, acting like a mini endocrine gland on their own. Additionally, glucocorticoids, which are steroidal hormones produced by the hypothalamus, help control inflammation and support lung immunity. So overall, your hormones, nervous system, and lungs constantly work together to keep your breathing stable and your lungs healthy. G-coupled protein receptors, also known as GCPRs, have a very important role in the regulation of cytokines. GCPRs are basically just cell surface receptors that convert energy from extracellular signals into cellular responses by activating other G proteins in a cell. This produces a downstream effect that can include inflammatory and immune responses. They're like doorbells on the outside of the cell, which helps outside signals trigger actions inside the cell. Cytokines are like small proteins that act as messengers in the endocrine system. Think about them like text messages that your cells send to each other, which often involve warning other cells or telling cells where to go. Cytokines and GCPRs also work together in the immune system. When you're sick, cytokines tell hormone organs to change what they're doing. Think of your endocrine system as a city with emergency responders. Cytokines would be like emergency alerts when something goes wrong, while the G-coupled protein receptors are like radios or receivers that communicate the issue to tell responders what to do. So in short, cytokines send messages, GCPRs receive them, and tell other cells what to do.
In conclusion, the endocrine system is a crucial system that we cannot live without. Think of the endocrine system as the operator of your Minecraft server. It makes sure that everything stays in check and ensures that the growth of the overall server is stable. Thanks for watching.